Sometimes we're on a collision course, and we just don't know it. Whether it by accident or by design, there's not a thing we can do about it. A woman in Paris was on her way to go shopping. She had forgotten her coat, going back to get it. When she had gotten her coat, the phone had rung, so she stopped and answered, talked for a couple minutes. While the woman was on the phone, Daisy was rehearsing for a performance at the Paris Opera House. And while she was rehearsing, the woman off the phone now had gone outside to get a taxi. Now a taxi driver had dropped off an earlier fare and then stopped to get a cup of coffee. All the while Daisy was rehearsing. And this cab driver who dropped off an earlier fare, who stopped to get a cup of coffee, had picked up this woman who was on her way to go shopping and had missed an earlier cab. The taxi had to stop for a man crossing the street who left for work 5 minutes later than he normally did because he forgot to set off his alarm. And while this man late for work was crossing the street, Daisy had finished rehearsing and was taking a shower. And while she was showering, the taxi waited outside a boutique for the woman to pick up a package which hadn't been wrapped yet because the girl who was supposed to wrap it had broken up with her boyfriend the night before and forgot. When the package was wrapped, the woman back in the cab now was blocked by a delivery truck. All the while Daisy was getting dressed. The delivery truck pulled off and the taxi was able to move while Daisy, the last to be dressed, waited for one of her friends who had broken a shoelace. While the taxi stopped waiting for a traffic light, Daisy and her friend came out the back of the theater. And if only one thing had happened differently, if that shoelace hadn't broken, or if that delivery truck had moved moments earlier, or if that package had been wrapped and ready because the girl hadn't broken up with her boyfriend, or if that man had remembered his alarm and got up 5 minutes earlier, or that taxi hadn't stopped for a cup of coffee, or that woman had remembered her coat and got an earlier cab, Daisy and her friend would have just crossed the street, and that taxi would have just driven by. But life being what it is, a series of intersecting lives and incidents out of anyone's control, that taxi did not go by, and that driver was momentarily distracted, and that taxi hit Daisy, and her leg was crushed.